All right, this next lesson is taking this idea of credit and now applying it to kind of our account statements. Think about it as like your credit card statement. So, as a follow-up from last class, let's solidify your understanding of credit, right? Remember credit, why do we need credit? Mostly you need it for loans, right? So whether it's a house loan, a car loan, a student loan, we're talking about anytime you want to borrow money. It can also be so for cars, house, student loans, etc., right? There may be some other cases, but I would say, hey, that's kind of the main idea. When you buy things on credit, remember, you're going to end up paying more than the original price because of the interest you pay. In general, that's true with a loan. For credit cards, not always true, it just depends if you pay it off, right? So the secret of being responsible with your credit card is to pay off the balance in full each month. And if you do that, then actually the fun fact there is you don't get charged interest. And I gave you an optional assignment at the end of this unit that's called The Secret Life of the Credit Card. And I think it's a great documentary that goes over so many different kind of details and will kind of fill you in on some like those tips and tricks like that one. Okay, and then last but not least, good credit means how good you have been paying your bills on time and how good you have been keeping about your promise to pay things you bought. So if you've been doing good with those things, then you're going to have good credit and you're going to be more likely to have people who want to lend you money, right? So let's talk about some definitions for today. Your credit card is a card authorizing purchases on credit, right? Your charge account is an existing line of credit at a business that is issued. The customer can use it to charge purchases made only at that store. So sometimes maybe you'd have like a, like the red card for Target is like you can think that like that as a charge account. Your account statement is going to be the list of all the items you purchased and other transactions. The statement shows all the activity in the account during a 1 month period. And the finance charge, which we're going to delve into more how you compute that next time. But for now, just recognize it. It's the amount added to your bill by the credit card or charge account company if you did not pay your previous bill in full. So that's kind of the trick with like credit cards, is that if you don't pay it off in full each month, that's when you start getting charged interest. We've got a formula here that we're going to use today. So as you can see, it says that the new balance equals your previous balance plus the finance charge. Remember, that's like what you get charged if you don't pay it off in full, plus any new purchases you make, subtracting the payments you get, and subtracting any credits you get. So whether that be like a perk credit or maybe like you returned an item, those would be examples of kind of things you get credits for. So let's go through. Marina Palmer's statement for her charge account at D&L department store is shown below. What is her new balance? So you can see kind of up here on the top, we've got all of her transactions, right? So those are the different transactions she has, what she bought, how much she paid for it, was a credit or payment, etc. But we're going to look down here at the bottom to kind of compute things. So, at the bottom here, sorry, kind of crossed stuff out. We're going to go ahead and compute her new balance. And I wasn't supposed to have it showing over there, but I guess in this case, we're going to check that it adds to $429.37. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take her previous balance, which in this case was $332.64. We're going to add the finance charge, which is $5.64. We're going to add the new purchases, which is $173.03. And then we subtract her credits, which was $31.94. Be careful, I know credit sounds like credit cards, but here they're talking about kind of things you got back, minus her payment of $50. I'll give you a moment, type that all in your calculator, and we do end up with $429.37. Okay, on this next one, I didn't give you the answer, so we're going to have to figure it out. So Alice's monthly credit card statement has a previous balance of $307.85, and she made a $40 payment. This month's new purchases were $9.50 and $41.75, and the account posted a $23.75 credit, and a finance charge is $4.62. Okay, so I would just go through and be like, what is the previous balance? In this case, the previous balance is $307.85. We now are going to add the finance charge. So we use this. We're now going to add the $4.62 plus the new purchases. In this case, Alice made 2 new purchases. So we're going to add $9.50 and we're going to add $41.75. We use both those. Now we subtract her payments. In this case, she made a $40 payment. We're going to subtract the $40 payment, and we subtract her credit of $23.75. Type that all in your calculator, and you end up with $299.97. Okay. On this next part, I want us to be able to read and kind of recognize things from this credit card statement. So let's look at the statement. The first thing we want to look for is any payments that Stacy made. So there's kind of 2 places you can see it. Notice how it says payment and other credits. So it looks like she did a payment and it says $15. So this would be kind of for letter A. So yes, of $15. Another place you can see it is over here on the upper right. You'll notice that it also says that she made that $15 payment, and that CR means credit. Okay, what is the total amount she charged this month? So meaning how much did she put on her bill, on her credit card? So you got these purchases and other debits, so this is kind of part B, and the answer here is the total for this period. So look down here at the bottom, the total for this period, which is $78.46. Something like a word search, but with some numbers, right? Okay, last but not, and you can also look it up over here on the upper right where you have the account summary. You see that purchases for $278.46. Okay, next it says, does she have a finance charge? If so, how much and why? If so, why and how much? So it looks like down at the bottom, she's got an annual fee, but that's not the finance charge. So keep looking for finance charge. And I see it over here on the top. Do you guys see that finance charge? Where it says $43.13. So that's going to be part C. So yes, it's $43.13. And then we got to decide why. So because why? So let's just look at this statement for a minute. You usually get a finance charge, which we're going to do next lesson, but when you haven't paid your balance off in full. So if we look here, her previous balance at the top is, if you look over here on the right where I just put a little dot, is $665, and she only paid $15. So she definitely hasn't paid it all off, right? Like, she's carrying most of that money over. So the reason why she still has money of this finance charge is because she didn't pay off last month's balance in full. Okay, I think there's some interesting other things over here. Like if we look over on the, actually let me answer the last question and then I'll kind of talk about that. So then if Stacy wanted to pay off the entire amount today, how much would she have to pay? She's going to have to pay this new balance. And this is what we've been computing today. She's going to have to pay that $971.74. And the way that they computed that, if you're curious, right, is they added the previous balance, right? And they subtracted the payment, they added the purchases. These are zeros, so you don't have to worry about that. And they added the finance charge to get that total. Some other interesting things over here, just to kind of point out to you, is notice over here, on the left, there's actually a minimum payment. So I'm going to start using red for just a minute, or blue for just a minute. This minimum payment of $15 means you can actually get away with this credit card just paying $15 a month. But if you do that, you're going to end up owing a whole lot of interest. Also, if you don't pay that minimum payment, right, that's when, if you look at the late payment warning, right, if you don't make that minimum payment of $15, they're going to charge you a late fee of $35, right? Often your minimum payment has to do with how much you have charged, and that's probably in this case why the late fee is more than what your minimum payment is. And then the other thing I want to point out over here on the right is a credit limit. The credit limit, it says, hey, in this case of $3,000 is the maximum amount of money you can spend on your credit card is $3,000. So when it says how much you have available, since she currently owes $971, that $2,000 is how much she could continue to spend on her credit card. All right, so this lesson's a little bit of a mixture. It's got some math and some kind of like vocab understanding, right? But you're going to be computing some unpaid balances, as well as kind of understanding how to read that credit card statement. You're all set for 2.2.